Hello everyone, it's Nytbelle. Welcome back to Roman's Christmas, actually. So last time we had both a Christmas feast and another bit of a problem with a missing bard. Also kind of at a loss for words now. We're down 3 people. But let's head right on in and see what's going on. This one. It was Anzox. He was lying on the carpet, motionless. The wooden ladder leading to the attic had fallen. It had struck him on his head. I was the one who put that up. I hope I tied it correctly. Bright red blood spread across Anzox's darker crimson scales, leaking into the thick carpet. The heavy wooden ladder was still pressed against his head, like a boot pressing down on top of a melon. The hemp rope, which had originally tied the ladder to a wooden handle, swung like a pendulum in the air. Sarzan stood there, stunned for a moment before he rushed forward to pull the twine. Anzox! The ladder slid up into the loft again along the guide rails, making a sharp friction noise. Thurby squeezed past me and crouched beside Anzox. Wait, don't disturb the seat. He's still alive. What? Still alive? His head is covered with blood. Yeah, well, head wounds tend to bleed profusely. Being covered with blood doesn't equal death. I agree, Thurby. Good job. Thurby pulled a white handkerchief from his pocket and pressed it against Anzox's head. The fabric slowly turned red from the wound, spreading across it like spilled wine on a tablecloth. How can you... Thurby grabbed Anzox's tail and knuckled down firmly against the ventral side. His tail? Oh, if you guys don't know ventral, it would be like the underside, like the side. If his tail was like in line with his stomach, it would be like the part that's in line with the stomach. on the side of the tummy side. The flaccid tail curled up at once and did not slacken again until the hand was released. Oh, is this like a dragon reflex, like a Babinski? You see, he is alive. If we can stop the bleeding, get him into bed, and apply a poultice, he should recover. You're a really physician. Not to interrupt, but this ladder isn't exactly light. Could you... Lunik grabbed Anzox's armpits. Thurby supported his head, and I lifted Anzox's legs. Then we lifted him aside together. Guys, this is clearly a head trauma. Do we not care that his neck is probably flip-flopping and he's going to have lots of problems? He's paralyzed now. Once we were out of the way, Sarzan loosened his grip and let the ladder fall back down. Anzox will not wake up for a while. Carry him upstairs and put him in his bed. When I count 3, we lift him upstairs together. 1, 2, 3. Lunik and I carried Anzox's limp body up into the attic. That must be difficult. Why do unconscious ones feel heavier than usual? That's because they can't balance their weight for you. They're like a sack of potatoes. I know things. Over to the bed now, said Lunik. All right, just leave him to me. Do something else and stay out of my way. You don't need help? Thurby sat on the edge of the bed, pulling bottles and tins from his medicine box. What's the situation? I don't know. It will be some time before he regains consciousness. I'm just relieved you can take care of him. I climbed down from the wooden ladder. He's still there. Is that foolish bard all right? Says Elegant. Well, he's not going to die. Good. Then let us begin searching. What? Do you assume Anzox's injury was an accident? Isn't it because the handle I used to secure the rope broke? Says Sarzan. Perhaps, says Elegant. Elegant shrugged. We were all downstairs at the time of Anzox's accident, so surely it was just an accident, but it felt off somehow. As much as I'd prefer to go back and eat, I'm already hungry enough to inspire my predatory instincts. Sarzan, we should try to finish dinner first. In weather like this, stew gets cold quickly. And I haven't eaten anything today. Come on, Elegant. How could you eat with such a problem stuck in your throat? Forget it, let's just finish it quick. I heard of a foreign general who had no time to drink after pouring a glass of warm wine, and then went to the battle with our enemy general. When he returned victorious, the wine was still warm. Then let me do a simple survey to find what the reason is. I took the keychain from Sarzin and straightened my collar. But the crime scene has been... It's fine. I have seen it all, and I can rebuild it, says Elegant. Should I drag Anzox back down the ladder? If you must do this to solve the case, says Elegant. I'll do it instead. Okay, so yeah, I was wondering, he's blue. So this is Sarzin pretending to be him. But isn't it too cruel to let Anzox go back there? Thanks for your hard work. I will pull up the ladder a little, so you may slowly climb under the ladder and not hurt yourself, says Elegant. Here? Asked Sarzin. Lift up, yes. Go somewhere else to search. I have not finished yet. Elegant squatted down and grabbed Sarzin's horns to position him. Hey, easy there. My key's locked inside my room, says Heron. The keychain was pinned around my waist. The keychain's pinned around my waist. Take it yourself and return it afterwards, says Sarzin. Okay. Wait, the door's open again, says Heron. Search start. Picking out carrot from stew. Of course the meow meow would do that. Carrot stew. Wouldn't it be sweet? Alright, let's, Yeah, Elliot... I should go collect evidence again. I'm working on it. Although not everyone can give useful testimony, asking everyone is still necessary. Okay, I am searching. Go away. Let's see here. Heron is interesting, but I think I'm gonna start at the top again and work my way down. He's just like... He's like... I'm sorry, I just find that funny. Okay, so this again... His trunk. Thurby's medicine box, heavy. His book. Anything new about the book? Book, blurred dragon, weird sigils. No difference. The bed. Bed, used to be one of Sarzin's. No idea why there's a smell of herbs on the bed. Anzox's bed, he sleeps there almost every stay. Now he's lying on it too. But nothing else. Just Anzox. Okay. I'm sorry, I just find it hilarious every time. Sarzin's bed, I'm guessing. One originally 2, one of them's going to Thurby. Ropey McRopington. Oh, pile of junk. Old hemp rope, decorations, angel wings from an old costume, you name it. Okay, but I'm sorry, not caring about Ropey McRopington. Keys. Sarzin's keys, hanging on the bedside. Keys would be here if there were any unoccupied room. But only Sarzin has a cellar key, and it's not in the keychain. Still snowing? Brown skylight, light coming through, snow piles up in the window. Sarzin's bed. Originally 2. Yeah, that's it. Ladder can be pulled up and down along the track by a rope. Ladder is no clue. Well, I guess that's about it for us. Except, yeah, we're not telling us anything about him. Okay, and candle. Neither the worst nor the best candle. Okay, well. Hey, Thurby. What do you think's going on about the incident? I'm not familiar with Anzox, but I'm not surprised someone finds him to be annoying, based on how he behaves while we share the room. What does he do? Why? He plays his lute at night, while in his bed. Uh-huh. While I understand some nobles will hire musicians to play music while they sleep, I don't think that's quite my preference. So about Anzox, what can you tell me about his injuries? His scales partially deflected the blow, so the actual wound isn't deep. It still bled heavily, though, and there's still a head injury, which we used to paralyze him. When do you think he'll wake up? Best case scenario, a few days. That's assuming there isn't significant trauma to the brain or internal bleeding. I'll be lucky to wake up at all if that thing hit me. If it weren't for his scales, or if it had struck him on the neck, he likely wouldn't have survived. I'm pretty sure the last place anyone unconscious would want to be is here. That's unsettling. Tinku. Anzacs. Are you dead? Hey. Lying down on the bed, head wrapped with white cloth with the uninjured side down. By the way, is it possible for dragons to lie flat on their back, or would their horns pierce through the pillow or something? I'm not going to disturb him, but I would like to poke him. It's okay. Derby's guarding Anzacs like a watchdog, so I'd better not disturb him. Or maybe like a dragon with a sword. Nah, that's a bit rude. Goodbye. Start with Kane, work our way down. No one. Kane's not here anymore. Can't help thinking of him every time I stepped into his room. But someone might have used this room. No? No one? No one? Not even one? Okay. Oh, wait, sorry. Small drops of blood on the bedsheet. They're a bit faded from time, but still can be seen. Candlestick. No idea if it's the same one from the other night. Nothing in the drawer. Okay. Glue on the door was removed by Sarzan. Snow? Windows closed firm. Okay. Heron? Yeah, you had an issue with your lock. Bed? Bed. Snow? Snow. Nothing. Left here to scrutinize. I should go somewhere else. No. Heron didn't stop your promotion and didn't hesitate. Bible, rosary. Anzacs was hit when he came to fetch the rosary. Then why is the rosary still... Took the rosary cup to close to my nose, lip sniffing deeply. It's this smell. Now I remember. After a while, I'll compare it with the smell of the scene. Prayer rope added to clue. That was tricky, though. They were trying to, convince me to not keep sniffing around. So about that rosary. By the way, don't you always carry your rosary with you? Most of the time, but I left it at my bedside this time. Unlucky. Course of events. Can you remember what happened before the dinner? Before the dinner, I proposed we pray before the meal to glorify God. And I was all like, yes, I know the prayer. I totally didn't look it up or anything. Not me. Then Anzacs went upstairs to get my rosary, which I had forgotten. Unfortunately, something bad happened in the end. Maybe it was punishment of God for my laziness. Yeah, you keep making Anzacs do stuff for you, so maybe you shouldn't. That's not right. Eh? This isn't divine judgment, it's murder. If God wants to punish someone, it should only be the murderer. Well, it's not murder, he's alive. As for finding out who the murderer was, it's my responsibility. Suddenly I think you're even a little handsome. I'm backing away. Just a little. That Anzacs. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like you've been handling Anzacs recently. Really? For example, pouring drinks for you this morning. Just a few times. Heron tapped his fingers a few times. Isn't it normal to help someone get something? Just be nice to others. Thanks. Meh. Better. Peter's door was tightly locked. Intermittent sobbing came from the door. Right. Sean's gone. Let's just check it out just in case. Yep. You never know, someone might have hidden something and I keep trying to search even though the search option is not here. Sean seemed to make the bed in his own way, but he'll never have the chance to lie on it. Lunac and Solar suitcases, well crafted, are stored here. I can't open them without their permission. Drawer is empty. Snow. Am I going crazy or is the snow getting heavier? That's it. Okay. Lunac and Solar. Double bed, only double seat. No one stays here most of the time. Snow? From this window I can see the front part of the tavern. No special scenery though. Wall. Desk that I'm not allowed to go into. I was approaching a nightstand. Luna came and stood between me and it. Something I can help you with, Monsieur Roman. So after checking that, may I check the drawer? Not the kind of revelation about this kind, I presume. Luna's lips curved in a faint smile. As Marquis, I possess the privilege to refuse any unjustifiable search. I think Peter might have been right about the fervency of the day. Wine. Cup is empty. Bell. Handbell for calling Sean, but no one will respond to the bell now. Candle. Candle. Neither the worst nor the best. Tuck. Hey, Solar. What doing? Marquis Solar, I wonder if I could ask you a few questions. Why, of course. Have you ever noticed anything odd during the day? I could smell the scent of orange, blossom, jasmine, and vanilla on Solar. It was like she'd just come from the southern parts of the kingdom. Oh, looks like I got a good, I guess, voice for her. I didn't notice anything bizarre. I just watched you lot play with darts before noon, and then in the afternoon I was taking a nap. I tried to stop my nose from sniffing too hard. I do apologize if that was a little help. It's okay, it's fine. Hey, Lunik. So, Marquis, can you recall what had happened today? If I recall, after the sun rose, Sarzan called everyone to go downstairs. I had just awoken, so I went downstairs together with Solar. Sarzan advised us not to disturb you, so you stayed asleep until we had finished le petit déjeuner, the breakfast. And later, you came downstairs somnolent. So I was the only one who hadn't eaten. Oh, sorry, so that's me. So I was the only one who hadn't eaten for the whole day. There were approximately 3 or 4 people who went down. I was taking a nap in the afternoon, so I know nothing of that. And the dinner, I haven't had it yet. That made me even hungrier. To conclude, Helen didn't bring his rosary, so Enzox went upstairs to assist him. Then the unfortunate incident occurred. Thank you for your cooperation. Meh. Yanis? He's not in here. Candle? Candle? Snow? Pavement covered by thick snow. Bed? Bed? Yanis had slept here, so the quilt was almost reaching the ground. And his room is gradually being filled with shark smell. Okay. Still nothing in the drawer. Door? Door is widely opened. Thank you. Pick. Let's see. Elegant. Aha, she's not here. Search. Candle? Candle. Bed? There. Window? Snow? Seems like snow's not gonna stop. Bed? Bed sheet's edges well tidied. Ah, she tidied it this time. Yes, I'm talking about this thing. Thank you. Elegant's traveling sack looks normal. Mouth of it's tightly sealed. Candle, nothing special. I know I'm going for it. There we go. Opened it, found. What I found was still the 13 names, but my name is crossed too. No, it's something. Oh, that's it. Alright, Vincel. Now, I'm suspicious of Vincel, because he was acting jank earlier, so let's see here. Search. Trunk. Luggage, clothing inside it are embroidered with fancy patterns in dark thread. That's it. Okay. Bed is well arranged. Snow. Snow is still heavy. Candle. Candle. Drawer. Drawer is still empty. Okay, that's it. Back. Interesting. Me. My desk. Oh, sorry, search. My desk. Evidence from my last case, and notebook to put notes in. Check notes. I mean, if there's more notes. 20th of December, 1285. Yes, I can definitely read this. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Anyone who can translate that for me, please. Candle. Bed. Too hungry to fall asleep. This is my backpack, clothing, and sundries are inside. Didn't bring enough to change every day, of course. Door of my room. Hinges smooth. Okay. Snow. Still continuously snowing. Let's go downstairs and talk to some people. Betting they're in the hall? I'll do a quick search and then I'll do my thing. Not to search for though. Wooden spiral stairs. Everyone's on the stairs at the time, strong enough to hold some people for a second time. Still some drops of gravy, which are not wiped out. Smell of cold food coming from the kitchen. Fireplace. Fireplace is still warm. Right, breaks the Christmas atmosphere in the tavern is now so gloomy and cold. Yeah, okay. Let's talk. Vincel and Yanis were sitting at either end of the long table. Vincel is leaning over the back of the chair, and Yanis is bent over the table. Meat stew is still hot. The steam is going out from the pot cover. Hey, Vincel. Mr. Vincel, I wonder if it's convenient for you to answer me some questions? Of course, my good detective. Ask your questions. Can you remember what happened before and after dinner? Technically, it's not even after dinner yet. Well, Heron... He's French now. Heron suggested we play... Goodness, okay. Send help. Well, Heron suggested we pray before the meal. It's not quite there. You go. And then he said he forgot his rosary and wanted to go upstairs to fetch it. Anzox was near to the stairs, so he went to fetch it. Then we heard the sound. I see. That's it. Back to Yanis. Tell me what you think happened. Hope it's just an accident. It'll be terrible if anything happens again, especially on Christmas. And if there's a killer among us, I can't exactly say I can relax. Ugh. Why can't they just surrender instead of playing hide and seek? Ain't like attempted murder will result in a death sentence. Would you just wait patiently at the docks after you got into a fight with someone? Damn straight. I like Yanis. About Anzox. What do you think about Anzox? Nothing special, just a bard. Nothing special. He hangs around a bunch of taverns and only stays for 2 days, so it's not like he has much time to make friends or enemies. Doubt anyone's willing to lend him money, though he never asked. Anyhow, I don't understand why anyone would want to kill him. Prayer before the meal. What was with you objecting to a prayer before dinner? Everything was fine without it, if there wasn't so much drama for today. By the way, wasn't it the first mealtime prayer we had this whole time? Yeah. Yeah, that's all for now. We are missing some people, aren't we? Or we're in the corridor. Or elsewhere. Toilet? Bathroom? I haven't eaten for the whole day, so I have nothing to excrete. Brown hair is floating in the water surface of the sink, and it looks different from mine. Someone else's hairs. It's me! I almost lost myself in the mirror, staring at the heavy, dark circles under my eyes. Except I smile when I do. To the kitchen! Feed me! Food? Cold meat stew in the pot. The broth is congealed. Ham knife, slicing knife, vegetable chopper, and bread slicer are on the knife rack. A knife stuck in the chopping board. Cold meat stew, breath is concealed. Fire's died out. Level of the water's gone down a bit since yesterday. Now, what was this about the cellar keys? Are we not able to... Oh, we can enter the cellar. Sarzin had cleared the dust off the barrels and rearranged them. Cellar chain's edge feels sharp. I'd cut myself if I keep touching it, but Sarzin with the scale doesn't seem to have such a problem, so I never bothered changing it. Sarzin put everything in order except for this cup. Weird. Okay, well, time to go back to the corridor. I am not finished yet. Go do something else, says Elegant. I should go collect any evidence and testimony from other places first, I suppose. I'll stop by Elegant and ask what she knows. Fine. Hey, Sarzin, what doing? I crouched down to talk to Sarzin, who was lying under the ladder. Is it alright if I ask you something? Not unless I want to open my mouth wide enough to answer. Well, I think you also don't speak Draconic. Eh? You play D&D? What can you tell me about the ladder to the attic? Other than the fact that it's currently on top of me? Well, it's heavy. If it dropped on someone your size, they might die. And why did you install this in the tavern? Normally, I'm the only one living in the attic. I don't operate the ladder when there are guests nearby, so I didn't expect it to hit someone. By the way, when Anzox came to the tavern, he usually slept with me in the attic. Slept with him? Okay. Not to be rude, but could you hurry up? My head's getting sore. Elegant. Sarzin, would you move over a little and take a look? Excuse me, I have something to ask you. Very well, just be quick. What do you think happened? I think an acquaintance did this. Why? Only someone who knew Anzox well could predict his behavior and sabotage the ladder, so you say. What's the situation with the scene? Speak with the others first. I am still figuring out if there are some clues. I need to concentrate to figure this out. Those who went upstairs. Who's gone upstairs today, both morning and afternoon? Do you not remember that? I'm just trying to confirm. Today, Thrivy went upstairs first, then you. Vincel went upstairs during the darts game. Then everyone was resting in the hall during the afternoon. Ah. Wait a sec. Where were the Marquis and his wife napping? Anzox's name is also on the list of your room. Care to explain? It may be a coincidence. Never mind. I may be tempted to burn that book. What if it is some sort of cursed notebook that kills everyone whose name is written on it and crossed out? It's not Death Note. We good. I never expected that you'd believe in curses. Why didn't you realize it before crossing my name out? Don't act as if you believe it yourself. There are no such things as curses. Okay. I'm done. Go about your business. Can I search now? I can search. Mr. Ropey McRopington. The rope is hanging from a broken wooden handle. So it broke from the handle. Could the hard handle actually be broken by some soft hemp rope? Interesting. Ladder. Ladder was suspended from the attic ceiling by a rope and lifted along the guide rails. Hemp rope was usually wrapped around the wooden handle on the left-hand side of the second floor, suspending the ladder. When I arrived at the scene, the bottom of the ladder was pressed against Anzox's head. Thunk. You alright? Is the ladder too heavy for you? No, just finish this quickly, says Sarzin. Anzox's wound is in the back of the head. Wouldn't do this on Sarzin, though. I took some notes here, says Elegant. Autopsy, in quotation marks, added to the clue. That's it? That's all we're getting? Sarzin's muscular back. When he isn't so busy, he would untie the belt on his wings and flap his wings. That's the reason why his wings are still strong. Why, does he not want to fly no more? What doing? Bruh. Explain. Psst. Blood? Blood on the floor. Yeah, I think that's it. Thank you. More blood on the floor? Blood on the floor. No pick. Marquise? Oh, it just tells me where like people are. So, this is where this thingy is, right? Wooden handle. Bent and broke, colors very new. Cross-section of the wooden handle has many sharp wooden splinters, and it seems that several of them broke. Who is here? On the left, from near to far, are Kane, Heron, Peter, and Sean's room, which were just searched. Well, we didn't search Peter's room. We did search Heron's. On the right, near to far, are the rooms of Mine, Vincel, Elegance, and Yanis, but nothing's found. Interesting. Searched everywhere else. Time to focus on the crime scene from now on. Took a deep breath, trying to sniff out the murderer. Although it doesn't work all the time, it saves me a lot of trouble. The scent of blood is too strong. I can't connect the scents with these people. Might as well pay more attention to the scents, like the same as last time. Time to sniff. Close my eyes and breathe in and out through my nose. Okay, so this was the scent of the rosary, right? Different races, different things smell different. They interact with each other and they'll leave their unique scent on each other. If I close my eyes and sniff carefully, I can locate the position of every odor and then restore them to the scene. The more similar interaction methods, places, and times are, the more similar the scent is. Let's use that same. Okay, so. Handle's cracked end. Anzox and murderer both touched it. The smell makes me nervous. Anzox touched the handle's cracked end. Louder smells of blood. It smells like sweat and silver. What does that mean? Scent grows thicker at the bottom. The rosary smells like something at the crime scene. Stars and Lies here with a totally different scent. It's hard enough to simulate the position, but way too hard to simulate the scent. Luckily, Anzox's scent still lingers. Blood, Stars and Lies here. Louder smells of blood. Searched everywhere else. Time for this crime scene from now on. Tuck. Hey, Elegant. Excuse me, let me ask you. Quick. It's the same thing. Never mind. Am I missing something? Blah, 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 blah. Because this... If it'll let me... Okay, because this, no special scents. What smells like the rosary? The ladder. Or the wooden handle. Looks like the ladder, no? Ladder smells just like the rosary. Usually means they've contacted a lot. But why? No, that was weird. That should do it. Evidence I have is enough. Time to find out the truth. Playing Anzox's lute. Oh, he let me play with his lute. Yes. I'll do my best not to overwrite my saves. After a thorough search, I asked everyone to come into the attic for trial. If Anzox wakes up during the process, maybe they can solve the case more quickly. This time, Anzox won't jump in with some strange theory to influence my conclusions when I have no idea. Although that was one of my wishes, I didn't want it to happen this way at all. I sat on the edge of Anzox's bed, waiting for everyone to gather in the attic. Elegant climbed up lightly, so light I didn't even notice her. This place... It may become problematic if we try to fit everyone up here. Let Anzox listen to the process, although I don't know if he can hear it. It would be fortuitous if he woke up at an opportune moment. Yanis's footsteps thumped heavily on the ladder. Can't we just discuss this in the hall? Maybe we can talk while eating. I don't think you can focus on the case while smelling the stew. Everyone came upstairs into the attic, which made the already small room even more crowded. The wooden floor under our feet seemed to settle a little, and a sharp frictional creaking was produced when anyone moved. I started to think this was a bad idea to put 11 people in the attic. A little bit. Peter's out. Nice. Peter sat next to Sarzan and bowed his head without saying a word, as if he was trying to curl up beside him. Lunik took Solar's hand and looked at me. Just like before, let's try to keep things as simple and clear as possible. No overcomplicating things. If this really was just an accident, then there's no need to assume there's a murder among us. So it was just Anzox's injury. So was it just an accident, or was it deliberately set up? Trial start. Elegant. Is it possible he was unable to operate the ladder and accidentally broke the handle? Impossible, says Sarzan. Hold it. Why are you so sure? He sleeps in the attic every time he comes here. Nothing ever happened to him when he went up or down. It's quite impossible for him to make such a mistake. Well, you have known him for a long time, after all. I'll add that to my notes. But who would want to kill Anzox, says Yanis? I don't remember if he's got any enemies. Besides, most of us here have only known him for merely a day. Is that all somebody needs to kill? Let's put motive aside. I can't figure it out either. Is that so? I want to find out those who would be more likely to commit the crime first. Elegant. Is it possible that the handle was stressed already and it was about to break anyway? If so, Anzox is just the one who was unlucky enough to trigger it. Impossible, says Sarzan. Hold it again. Why? The handle is strong enough to bear the weight of the ladder, says Sarzan. That's right, I have investigated this handle thoroughly. Why is the handle not likely to break soon? Okay, let's do it. The rope tangled on the handle. The rope pulls up the ladder. The wooden handle was bent down. There are no color deposition on the splinter. The splinter was blunt. What? There are no color deposition. The wooden handle was bent down. The rope pulls up the ladder. The rope tangled on the handle. I'm confused. So why is the handle not likely to break? Because if the splinters were blunt, which I'm not sure if they are, that would mean it was cut and not, if it was a jagged splinter, that would mean it was actually broken or, sawed. Show me my clues. Rope was wrapped around the handle, and the ladder was suspended from the attic. Wooden handles were bent and broken all recently, without the deposition of color of old wood. The handle has many sharp splinters, some of them are broken. So without the deposition of color, I don't know what that means, but okay. So it's new wood, you mean? Without the discoloration. Sarzan's right. If the load was too great, the handle would have shown damage before now. But the cracks on the handle are new, and there's no sign of age in the wood. So I don't think it was accidental. Indeed it was, Roman. Heron. By the way, I felt strange when I received my rosary. It was neither in Anzox's hands nor pressed under him, but on his back. Why didn't you tell me something that important earlier? I just remembered it. In short, it seems there are a lot of details that cannot be explained right now. Let's rule out whoever couldn't have tampered with the ladder. The first people we can exclude are, who can be excluded? Those who stayed downstairs today. Anyone who hasn't been upstairs today. So the main suspects now are Thrivy, Vincel, and myself. First, let's ask them one by one. Elegant. How do you ask yourself? I'll just confess when it's my turn. Very well. You first, please. We'll go in order. Thrivy, what were you doing when the accident happened? I was... Thrivy gestured with both hands in the air. Waiting for Heron to finish praying. Huh? Didn't everyone do this at the time of the incident? What did you do upstairs this morning? Let me think. Testimony. I went upstairs to the attic to get the book on my bedside table. Then I went downstairs and tried to pull the ladder up, but failed. So I went downstairs to call Roman for help. Damn, that makes me seem suspicious. I need to do something to direct the suspicion to the real murderer. Something smells fishy. Maybe I'll press harder for further information. Which point to ask? Well, I'm going to ask about all these, because, like, what is with this book? The book on the bed? The one with the cover you can't read. Although, I think it has nothing to do with the case. Well, wouldn't I be the judge of that? So, why'd you fail to pull up the ladder? Because you're strong. Your suitcase weighs like 50,000 tons. You do realize the ladder weighs more than I do, right? How can I... Three of you, you're not looking good. Which point to ask? So why'd you ask me to help? I lifted the ladder at the time. I happened to meet you on the way down. Actually, no, I was, like, pretty far from the stairs. In other words, if you happened to meet someone else, you would have asked them to help you? That's correct. Which point to ask? Please add what you just mentioned to your testimony, please. Please, please, please. Very well. Please testify again. Testimony. I went upstairs to the attic to get the book on my bedside, the thick one. I was so light that I couldn't move it. What? I hope there was something in here. Nope, that's it. Okay. I saw Roman at the entrance of the stairs when I went downstairs, and then I asked him to help. So he just happened to meet me, and I didn't know in advance that I had a chance to... Are you sure, says Heron? This is all wrong. Why were you standing at the staircase if you didn't want to go upstairs? Says Heron. I didn't intend to go up, but I didn't intend to break the ladder. On the contrary, I can prove that I had no chance to tamper with the ladder. What is the reason I couldn't have sabotaged the ladder? I didn't have time because Thurvey was there with me. I think. No. Thurvey was not there with me. It was just me. I just stayed upstairs for a while, which meant I couldn't have enough time to sabotage the ladder. If I remember correctly, says Elegant, Thurvey and Vincel stayed upstairs only for a short time. This point is not convincing. Master Vincel, would you care to testify? Vincel tightened his gloves and adjusted his tie. Of course. So I'm surprised that they're not letting me push on Thurvey more, because how could a strong dude not be able to pull up the ladder? Because his stuff is huge. Like, even Starzan had trouble with it. Of course. I didn't stay long upstairs, so I had no chance to do anything to the ladder. I didn't even notice the ladder. To think of it, if I had observed the ladder at the time carefully, I might have found a trace left by Mr. Detective. Please don't speculate when you testify. Besides, Anzox and I don't know each other. Why would I harm him? And it was not I who asked for the rosary. Something smells fishy. Maybe I'll try to press harder for further information. What do I ask? How did you not notice the ladder? You didn't notice the ladder, really? Yeah, the ladder was not on the corridor like it is now. How could I notice it? Wait, I'm confused. Hang on. Oh, it won't let me. Okay, don't know each other, Rosary. So what were you doing upstairs? How long did you stay upstairs? Probably from the time throwing darts was proposed to the time the darts game was ready to start. What to ask? What was this wild guess of yours? You implied that I'm a murderer. What do you want to do? Don't target me because of this, detective. Avenging personal wrongs in the name of public interests is a violation of the law. You... So what about this rosary thing? Why did you just mention the rosary? Was that strange? This whole mess happened because Heron was going upstairs to get the rosary. What, not knowing each other? You and Anzox really haven't met each other before? Why would I lie? Taverns I frequent aren't quite as low. Vincel glanced at the annoyed Sarzan, who was beside him, and shut his mouth. Okay. Add what you mentioned to your testimony, please. Absolutely. Please testify again. I was upstairs from the time the dart game was proposed until the darts were ready, so I didn't have that much time to fiddle with the ladder. The ladder was stored in the attic, and I didn't notice it at all. Come to think of it, if I had observed the ladder at that time carefully, I might have found a trace left by Mr. Detective. Strike the last sentence. I haven't met the Red Dragon before, and here he was just a brief acquaintance. I have no motivation to murder him. It was Heron, who mentioned the rosary, and it was none of my business. All the suspects have been questioned now. There seems to be nothing wrong. But after hearing their testimonies, I want to add another suspect. Have we not confirmed that the rest have not gone upstairs? Unnecessary suspects should be ruled out. Sean wasn't on the list at first yesterday, but eventually... So who are you talking about? I would say... Always a little rest. Okay, let's see here. Me, Sarzan, Anzox sometimes played his lute at midnight. Elegant. He's in every fight at the wharf. So I can't do Thrivy because he's already there. Right? Can I ask for Thrivy again? Heron always feels free to order Anzox about as he wishes. I think it was Heron. I think so, says Elegant. As the owner of the rosary, do you have anything to explain? Is there anything to explain? For example, did you go upstairs during the day? Why was the rosary not with you? Why did you pray before meals today? And tell me anything you think was strange. Okay. Testimony. I have been downstairs all day, and I believe everyone can testify to that. I left my rosary in my room, so I had to go upstairs temporarily today. What's wrong with praying before meals? Speaking of something strange, the door in my room was locked. Does that count? Something smells fishy. What should I ask? Your door being locked. Why is the door being locked strange? Don't you know? I never lock the door. What? I believe in God physically and mentally. I believe that God can protect me from all calamities. So the door was unlocked when you left today? Absolutely. That was... Let me write it down. Because someone could have taken the rosary and used it to frame him. About that prayer before meal. Why'd you pray before the meal today? Seems strange. I pray before every meal. Is that a problem? But then why would you not bring the rosary? Tell me about this rosary being missing. Regarding the rosary, I'd like to ask a question. Why was it on Anzox? Before when the incident occurred? How should I know? Why did you pick it up? I didn't think about it. I thought it was my stuff. About always being downstairs. Did you go upstairs today, even once? Everyone saw me. Of course not. Okay. Please add what you've mentioned to your testimony. I shall. Please testify again. I haven't gone upstairs today, and everyone here can testify to that. I left my rosary in my room, so I had to go upstairs. As for how it got on Anzox, I have no idea. I have prayed before every meal. It's common, though I don't do so openly out of respect for Sarsen. My. I didn't lock my door, but I found that my door was locked after the accident today. I really don't understand why. There's something obviously wrong. What evidence contradicts Heron's testimony? Let's see. The rosary and the ladder bottoms smell similar. Let's see. Oh, this is helpful for the case note. Oh, it's one that we already saw. Never mind. Yeah, Anzox was the one who went upstairs, not Heron. But he keeps talking. It might just be an English thing. It was the first prayer before meal in these days. Or Heron's been ordering Anzox around. Somewhere between Yanis and Heron. Let's talk about Yanis first and see if that works. Wait. This is all wrong. Did you say you pray before meals every day? Yes. Is there anything wrong with that? But that was the first time since you got here that you prayed before a meal. Therefore, maybe I remembered it wrong, but what does that have to do with the case? Although I'm not sure whether this is related to the case, I hope you can recall why you suddenly remembered praying before meals. Very well. Testimony, again. Usually, whenever there's a chance, I pray before meals. In the past few days, due to respect the sensibilities of the tavern owner, I did not mention praying before meals, but what does this have to do with him? Today is Christmas, and I thought that it made sense to have a short pre-meal prayer on this particular holiday, but someone else wanted... What? Besides, there were others. Yeah, there were others who asked him to do so. Something smells fishy. Asked for what? Yeah, how is it Sarzen's choice? What do you mean by out of respect for Sarzen? It seems that he is not so passionate about faith. So you didn't forget to pray these days, but rather you dared not? Maybe you can say that. Heron looked to the side. His voice grew quiet. Asked for what? Others. Wait, did anyone else want you to do this? Yes. Why didn't you say so earlier? Well, we all know that, but how should I know? Is it important? Of course, it's very likely that whoever proposed it is a criminal. That was not me, it was... A hyena just wanted to make us believe that he initiated prayer, but now he was stunned. It was Vincel. What? Wait a minute. Sorry, this is Vincel. Wait a minute. Didn't you propose to pray before the meal? It was you. I'm trying to remember who said it. Who proposed to pray before the meal? Get the log. Whee. Oh, it won't go that far. No. Okay. That's fine. Anzox knows how to use the ladder. Case notes don't matter. I'm an awesome poet, and I most definitely do not know it. I'm not a good poet, guys. Let's see here. When it's not here? Key rack, notebook, second floor, blah blah blah, ladder, wooden handle, rosary. Three beds. Case note. Sarzen's testimony. No. Heron suggested to pray, according to Vincel. Heron said himself. Heron doesn't lock his door, but today was locked. Okay, so Vincel says it was Heron. Vincel said the prayer before the meal was Heron's own proposal. It wasn't me. That's what he said, so he'd be acquitted and frame me. I turned to look at the links. Do you have anything to say, Vincel? Testimony again. I indeed reminded Heron to pray, but why do you think that means that I would murder someone? If I wanted to kill Anzox, why didn't I just let Anzox go upstairs and help me pick something up? Why would I bother to remind Heron to remember to pray before the meal? What if he went upstairs by himself? Impossible. This is all wrong. Anyone who's been in the tavern these days will find out. You can use Heron to get to Anzox. Why? Says Elegant. How could you use Heron to get Anzox into the trap? Because Anzox has just been doing whatever Heron wants. Where is it? Heron's been ordering him around these past 2 days. And in the past few days, Heron has often called on Anzox and asked him to do things for him, like pouring him drinks and taking the spoon. So it's natural for him to get the rosary upstairs, because the murderer took advantage of Anzox's tendency to help Heron and used it to set up a trigger for the trap. Vincel. And who among us do you think is most familiar with traps, alibis, and crimes of these sorts? You, my good detective. And is it not true that the tomcat over there is also suspicious? Elegant flexed her paws quietly, her claws sliding out. Therefore, if the murderer used a trap to kill someone, I assume only Roman can do it. That's true, I do know these things because of my profession. But I'm sure everyone in this room, even Anzox, can come up with 1 or 2 simple traps like that. Only 3 things are needed to make the trap in this case. The wooden handle, the rosary, and the key to Heron's room. Let's start with the wooden handle. The wooden handle broke downwards. The handle was broken downwards. After breaking the handle, the suspect inserted the handle back into the slot. Is there any evidence to support your theory? Says Elegant. It's pure speculation, says Vincel. It's not because... What can prove that the suspect inserted the handle back in? Rope tangled on the handle. Rope pulls up the ladder. The wooden handle was bent down. The splinter was blunt. Because the splinters were broken. After the suspect broke the handle, he inserted back in the direction of splinters and pressed it tightly. This way, the friction between the splinters would cause the handle to get stuck there. If he properly adjusts the handle, it would support the wooden ladder, but when someone wanted to lower the ladder and started to untie the rope, the handle would come loose and the ladder would fall unexpectedly from overhead. In the process of reinserting the handle back in and loosening it, it is inevitable to break a few splinters. So the suspect should have done just that. That sounds reasonable, says Elegant, but it brings us no closer to identifying the suspect. Then there is the rosary. When we found Anzox, the rosary was on his back, and he was knocked down by a ladder that suddenly fell. That shows that it was the rosary. It was tied to the top of the ladder. Do I hit it? The rosary was on the ladder. If Anzox saw what he was looking for on the ladder, it was natural for him to lower the ladder. Then the ladder fell on Anzox, and the rosary, hanging on the ladder, would fall on his back. But why did Anzox check the ladder, says Elegant. If he were looking for the rosary, he would definitely not look there. He would only find it in Heron's room. Because Heron's room was locked, Anzox couldn't open the door, and when he turned to go downstairs and ask Heron for the key, he saw the rosary hanging on the ladder. He would naturally reach out to pull the twine wrapped around the handle, trying to lower the ladder to get the rosary. That just triggered the trap set by the criminal. Next is Heron's key. Thanks to Heron's testimony, we now know that his room is generally unlocked. The key on his nightstand. He was on his nightstand, and he hadn't moved it. According to Sarzin, there are 2 keys to each room in the cavern. The second key was on Sarzin's keychain. On the keychain that Sarzin usually carries with him. By the way, says Sarzin, it seems like my keys disappeared for a while this morning. At first I thought I was confused, but now it seems maybe the murderer just took my keychain. When did you find out the keychain was missing? Asks Roman. I put it on the counter and then went down to the cellar. When I returned, it was gone. When did you rediscover it? After playing a round of darts, I found it on the counter. In that case, is there enough time for the murderer to bring the keychain upstairs, lock the door, and then return? Elegant. In other words, the killer should be someone who approached the counter while Sarzin entered the cellar and went upstairs while the keychain was lost. When the keychain reappeared, the killer should also be near the counter. Quick question and answer. This one went way smoother than the previous one, but, weapon. Hello? There we go. The weapon. The weapon is the ladder. What? There we go, ladder. Hello? The weapon is the ladder. Anzax was hit by the ladder. The wound can support the assumption. Besides, the murderer could hardly perform this trick in front of everyone else. Method. Modus operandi. Let's talk about how this happened. Deductive reasoning. Arrange occurrences. Yay. Okay. So, the suspect put the rosary on the ladder, broke the handle, and plugged it back. No, first thing they have to do is take Sarzan's keychain. Well, this doesn't have anything to do with that. Never mind. But yes, they would have done that. So, suspect put the rosary on the ladder, broke the handle, plugged it back, reminded Heron about praying, okay, so the last thing you have to do is remind Heron about praying. I mean, yes, you would have taken Sarzan's keychain and messed about with the rope. Well, you wouldn't have done anything with the rope. Okay, so here, again, the English here. So, suspect took Sarzan's keychain and used it to take the rosary and lock the door. Then, they put the rosary on the ladder, broke the handle, then plugged it back, and then reminded Heron about praying. This is a sequence of events. Suspect. I was actually thinking it was 3B for a second there. I mean, my first thought was Linksy Boy, but I think that's just English. Murderer is Vincel. More afraid of the cold than me. Always wearing gloves. It's Vincel. Why are you always against me? I'm not taking it personally. It's just vital to prove that you're the murderer. What evidence do you have? I went upstairs right before you, and the handle was in perfect shape. Who else could it be? Motive. Motive. When it comes to motivation, elegant. Can it just be like what happened between Sean and Kane? They knew each other before and separated because of conflict. I think that's impossible. Firstly, they rarely communicated today, and I don't think they would keep their countenance if they met before. Secondly, if Anzox owed Vincel something, and Vincel wanted to murder him, Anzox would at least take precautions. In a nutshell, I think Vincel's real motivation is his target was someone else. Maybe his target wasn't Anzox, but someone else. So obviously we can't find the motivation from Anzox. I overestimated our famous detective, Roman. Wait, what are you talking about? My target is very definitive from the beginning. It is Anzox. Wait, pardon? My only target is Anz. I didn't expect you would admit it so quick. Vincel clenched his fists and let out an angry gurgle in his throat. Okay, I lose. It was me. I hurt Anzox. I have to admit, you are quite the gentleman when you plead guilty. Then would you like to tell us your motivation? Anyway, you've already confessed your crime. Says Vincel. No thanks. Okay, although I am curious. I am curiosity. I guess we'll have to continue. Done. Although the motivation is not clear at all, now that the Lynx has pleaded guilty, let's summarize the case. In other words, case playback. Vincel has started to set his trap in the morning. In the morning, Sarazin explained the situation to us and suggested that everyone try to stay together in the hall and only leave the room one at a time. While this would avoid incidents between two people, it also gave Vincel the chance he needed. Utilizing the rule that only one person could go upstairs at a time, he had enough time to set up the trap without worrying about being caught. It's suspicious to let Anzox go upstairs to trigger the mechanism directly. Fortunately, Vincel knew that someone could order Anzox around, namely Heron. Vincel took something from the counter while Sarazin was busy in the cellar. That was the keychain. Tavern keychain. He took the keys that Sarazin had removed from his waist and left on the counter, because Sarazin may have not been taking full precautions. Then he went upstairs to open the door, took the rosary from Heron's room, and hung it from the ladder. But Vincel made a mistake. He didn't know that Heron never locked his door, so when he came out, he locked the door like everyone else. He broke the handle of the ladder, inserted it back in place, and went downstairs. Until dinner, no one went upstairs to trigger the trap, and Vincel's plot was more than half successful. That's really cute. At dinner, once Vincel reminded Heron to pray before dinner, Heron asked Anzox to go upstairs. Anzox went upstairs and found that the door was locked and looked around. He saw the rosary hanging on the ladder and naturally reached out to undo the twine around the handle. The rope came loose with the handle and the ladder fell down the guideway, hitting Anzox. This is your plot, Vincel, am I right? The lynx kept his eyes wide open and pulled the gloves back and forth. His sweat dripped down from the ends of his fur. Right, you win. So what do you intend to do with me? Sarazin, we'll bring you to justice, of course. That was fast. Sarazin picked up a length of twine, caught Vincel from behind, and tied his hands. It's an interesting way of just tying someone's hands. Vincel, just hurting someone isn't a capital crime, don't you know that? Yes, but there was intent. Shut up, Sarazin. Ow, not so hard. Be gentle with my wrists. You are no longer a guest now. You're a dangerous criminal who endangered the safety of my guests. Why should I treat you gently? Vincel glared at me, trying to get rid of the rope that bound his hands behind him. Untie me, you wretched son of a... Sarazin grabbed Vincel around his chest and hoisted him easily into the air. Vincel screamed silently, baring all of his teeth as the breath whooshed out of his lungs. Shpick. I just cleaned up the cellar this morning, says Sarazin. Perfect place for a butt like you to spend a Merry Christmas. Vincel stretched his neck and bent down, trying to sink his teeth into Sarazin's arm. Sarazin turned around and pressed Vincel's head aside. Don't force me to gag you. Vincel was still trying vainly to bite Sarazin as he reached out to a pile of clutter and junk. Here, let me give you a hand. Nah, you don't want to touch it. The smelly cleaning cloth from the kitchen? Sarazin grabbed something on the top of a pile of clutter and stuffed it into Vincel's mouth. Vincel's eyes went wide and he began to shake his head, trying to spit it out. From its color and texture, it looked like Vincel had one of Sarzen's unwashed socks in his mouth. Ugh. He's right, I don't want to touch that. I can smell it from here. Biohazard. Sarzen slung Vincel over his shoulder and walked past us. Solar covered her nose with a handkerchief. I started to feel sorry for Vincel having something like that in his mouth. Unable to escape the smell. Must be torturing him right now. The others left the attic after Sarzen and Vincel. I sat by Anzox's bed, clutching his unconscious tail in my hand. I guess let me hold your tail. Elegant, something is wrong. What? I believe I took the physical examination part seriously, says Thurvey. No, the motive, says Elegant. Motive? But he refused to explain his actions. That's a bit strange, but the thing is he also admitted to committing the crime. What's in it for him if the murderer isn't him? Sure, some merchants would betray their own mothers if they stood to gain a profit, but I can't think of any compensation that would make Vincel plead guilty on Christmas. Elegant. No, there's just something that bothers me. I will think about it. It's because there's a certain doctor who is upsetty spaghetti, and it is his fault. There was an accomplice. Thurvey exhaled and relaxed. That's not sus. If there's nothing else to do in the attic, let's go downstairs. I've been waiting for that Christmas feast, says Thurvey. Speaking of which, Mr. Detective, says Thurvey. Are you okay, says Elegant. What just happened? You just suddenly fell backwards. Fortunately, you were on the bed, otherwise it would have hurt, says Thurvey. I'm fine. Elegant. You must be starving. Can you still go downstairs? Go enjoy your stew. Maybe I'll try. I slowly stood up with Elegant's support, dragging my weak legs down the stairs. The aroma of stew seemed to linger in the corridor. Although I knew it was just pure imagination. Stew must have gone cold after such a long time. Even the tallow and the broth would form a creamy layer of fat on the surface. The scent seems to become stronger, but there was no sign of stew on the table. Sarzen, you came at just the right time. Sarzen brought a pot of steaming stew from the kitchen. The others weren't in the mood for stew and returned to their rooms after having bread and cold meat. I was worried that no one would eat my stew. Gimme. Just a second. Sarzen pulled 2 bowls of stew and ladled a huge portion into my bowl, with almost all meat and surprisingly little broth. Actually, have all you want. I can't finish this. It's the horses. Actually, I prefer broth more. Thanks. I bowed my head and devoured my stew. After being warmed up, the meat was almost torn apart by the heat. Muscle fibers were slightly separated. The fibers on the outer edge were almost peeled off. The broth was also much thicker than usual, but I was too hungry to be picky. I wanted to fill my stomach quickly. After 3 bowls of stew, I stopped eating, licked my lips, and looked around. Elegant was slowly lapping up the broth with her tongue, the spoon on the table left unused, like a little meow meow. Sarzen didn't seem to be satisfied with his work. He ate half a bowl and put it down with a sigh. Excuse me, I need to take some up to the 2 in the attic while it's still hot. Please enjoy yourselves. I also need to repair the ladder later. Sarzen reached in his pocket and put a dagger into my hand. Here, I found this on Vince, so keep an eye on it. Sarzen went upstairs with a bowl of stew in each hand. I began to wonder how he could climb the ladder. Elegant. You say you are on vacation, and yet you come across cases one after another. You're quite a workaholic. Don't act like I'm enjoying this. I think you... Roman, it's stuck. And I think, my friends, we can talk next time. So, thank you everyone for watching, and please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what I can do to make this better for you, and what you don't like that I'm doing that I could probably do my best to change. After all, I just want to make you smile. So, have a wonderful day, night, whatever you all are doing, and I'll see you once again next time. Bye-bye!